Welcome to Transform Power Yoga's 40-Day to Personal Revolution Week 2 yoga practice. This 30-minute practice helps you embrace vitality. Having done all of last week's 20-minute practice, you should find most of this practice much more familiar to you. So let yourself find your flow. Arriving here, present to your practice, present to your breath. Child's pose. Let the palms connect to the earth, the belly pull in. See if you can lengthen the spine, shifting the hips back towards the heels, but active, here, ready. Integrating in with the self through your breath. Each breath deep, each exhale complete. Breathing in and out through your nose. Take one more deep breath in. Engage the feet and then lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And right away, set your gaze at the back of the mat. As you set your gaze to the back of the mat, feel where the palms connect to the earth, almost as if you're pushing the mat forward away from you, and then shifting the hips back, a little bit more weight back towards your heels. Gaze set. Breath flows. Inhale up onto your tippy toes and walk to the front of the mat, coming to ragdoll pose. Let your feet be about 2 fist widths apart and see if you can shift a little more weight towards your toes. Maybe to begin, there's a generous bend in the knees so you can soften the torso towards the earth. Letting this more be about that lengthening of the spine, that creating space in this moment, but not letting the energy drop. Keep the belly pulled in, weight shifted forward. Soften the neck, the jaw. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Drop your day. Drop your expectations. Take a full deep breath in. And as you exhale, release any binds you may have taken. Toe heel your feet together so the big toes touch and there's space between your heels. And then on your next inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins, spine lengthens. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, mountain pose. And for this first mountain pose, we'll be here for 5 breaths. So feel where the feet connect to the earth. And from that grounding down into the earth, let your vitality shift all the way up to the tips of your fingers. That vitality found in the place where you're supposed to be, being who you are supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to be doing. And in this moment, connecting to yourself. Take a deep breath in, maybe shift the gaze, and exhale, forward fold. Breathe into halfway lift. Now place your hands to the mat. High push-up to low push-up. Breathe into upward facing dog. Open up the collarbones. And exhale, downward facing dog. Hips up and back as the gaze shifts to the back of the mat. 5 full breaths. No need to count, just to breathe. But to know that you're in a place to pause. Let the movement stop so you can absorb all that is and all that isn't. Just you, this moment, this breath. In your next inhale, come up onto your toes. This time, jump towards the front of the mat. Maybe it's a hop and a step. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Mountain pose, rise all the way up. And as you exhale, forward fold, all the way down. Breathe into halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. High to low push-up. Breathe in, upward facing dog. Breathe out, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. A pause. Find your flow. That flow begins connecting your breath and movement. Fluid. Natural. Inhale up onto your toes. Jump to the front of the mat, forward fold. Halfway lift, fold. Mountain pose, forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands to the mat, low push-up. Breathe in, upward facing dog. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Transformation happens through you. There's nowhere to find it, no need to look for it. Inhale up onto your toes. Jump to the front of the mat, forward fold. Halfway lift, fold. Chair pose. Letting yourself feel the energy as it moves through your body. Sink the hips back a little bit deeper, shifting weight towards the heels. Stay and breathe. Lift up a little higher, shift your gaze, and as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Then right foot steps forward to warrior one. So step your right foot forward, spin your back heel down. Inhale, rise up. Stay here, feeling the feet connected to the earth, sinking the hips a little deeper, a little more bend into that front knee. And then shift the torso up. Gaze lifts up. Now hands to the mat, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward to warrior one. Back heel comes down, bend into that knee. Gaze set. As you inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands to the mat, low push-up. Breathe in, upward facing dog. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Breathing in. Breathing out. All that you need is here within you. In this moment. Take a deep breath in. Jump to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, thunderbolt. Feel the energy lift. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands to the mat, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right away, right foot steps forward. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, hands to the mat, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward, warrior one. Hands to the mat, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathing in. Breathing out. If you've let go of your Uddiyana Bandha, pull it in and up. This next inhale, come up onto your toes, jump to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, forward fold. Halfway lift. Low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior one. This time as you exhale, open to warrior two. As you arrive in this warrior two, feel as if you're pushing the mat apart with your feet. Sink the hips a little bit deeper, that front thigh coming parallel to the earth. You've got this. You could do this. Now, inhale, flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, and then hands to the mat, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward, warrior one. As you exhale, open to that warrior two. Feel yourself expand from the center of the chest to the shoulders, elbows, to the tips of the fingers, reaching forward and back. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. Hands to the mat, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Go ahead, step your right foot forward, this time to warrior two. Then from your warrior two, go ahead and flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, and then straighten your front leg. As you straighten your front leg, begin to reach the front hand towards the front of the room, the front of your space, finding length first in the spine, and then open your torso up to that front leg, opening up to triangle pose. Maybe that bottom hand is connected to the earth, to a block. But see if you can push down and lift up, expansive in the body. Stay here and breathe in. Breathe out. Your next inhale, bend into that front knees, rise up, warrior two. Windmill your hands down to the mat, high push-up, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Now left foot forward, warrior one. Open to that warrior two. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, and straighten that front leg. Begin to reach forward, reaching into that triangle pose. The last piece, the bottom hand going down, top arm reaching up. Maybe this side you shift your gaze up to that lifted hand. Feel your inner thighs spiraling outward away from each other. And lengthen your tailbone. Breathe in through the nose. Out through the nose. The energy coming from the soles of the feet to the Uddiyana Bandha, opening the chest, opening and energizing the body. One more breath in. Full breath out. Inhale to your warrior two. Hands to the mat. High push-up. Low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now go ahead, bring your toes to touch at the back of your mat. This time, inhale out to high push-up, and then rotate your heels over to the right. As you rotate your heels over to the right, coming to side plank. You may be saying to yourself, I need to lower that knee. Maybe you do. Maybe you lower that knee. Or maybe today, you push down to lift up. You breathe. Feeling your vitality, feeding into the self with each breath in and each breath out. Take one more breath right where you are. And now come back to your high push-up, low push-up, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Toes touch the back of your mat. Come back out to that high push-up. This time, rotate your heels over to the left. Side plank on this side. See if you can lift your hips. Feel that energy lifting in the hips. Maybe the feet are stacked. Maybe one foot is in front of the other. Once again, maybe that bottom knee is down. If you've dumped into that wrist, lift out of the wrist. Lift the energy up. Engage the muscles. Feel light. One more breath in. High push-up. Low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up towards the ceiling. Step it forward, crescent lunge. So all 10 toes are going to face the front of the space. And as you arrive with all 10 toes facing the front of the space, lift that back heel. Feel the energy moving forward so you can bend into that front knee and sink the hips a little bit deeper. Sink the hips. Feel everything pulling into the center of the body, all that strength, and then shift the energy up, keeping the body exactly where it is. Take one more breath in. Hands to the mat, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, toes touch at the back of your space. This time lift the left leg up, step it forward, crescent lunge. Using everything that you felt, everything that you know from the last time you were here on the other side, be there. Bring those bottom ribs a little bit closer to the top of the hips. Yes. Contracting not just the lower abdominals, the upper abdominals, stabilizing your whole body, shifting that energy as you sink the hips. One more breath in. Hands to the mat, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale up onto your toes, jump to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Chair pose. This time bending the knees a little bit deeper, sinking the hips a little bit further back. Keep the torso lifted above the hips. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a full breath in and now hinge forward, twist over towards the right side. And the option might be that that right elbow comes outside the right thigh, or maybe today it's in between the knees. Maybe you sink your hips a little bit deeper so that right hand can come down to the earth or to a block, and the left hand reaches up to the ceilings. We're here, you're breathing. Remember, sink a little more weight towards those heels. Find that balance. One more breath in. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Go ahead, separate your feet hip width apart, coming to ragdoll pose. So that may mean that you just soften the knees a little, shift the weight forward, lengthening the spine after that twist. You might choose to grab opposite hand, opposite elbow. For some of you, it may feel better to take your peace fingers, wrap them around your big toes. Find length in the spine. Release the neck. Soften behind the ears. Come back to your breath. One more full breath in. Exhale any bind that you have released. Toe heel the feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice. Exhale, fold. Chair pose. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Right away, hands to heart center. Hinge forward, this time twisting over to the left. If you've let the head become heavy, energize. Keep it lined up. The spine is long. Bottom hand might come down to the earth, top arm reaching up. Weight towards the heels. Chest opening to the left side. One more breath in. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. From here, bring your knees down to the mat. Come to standing on your knees, setting up for camel pose. So as you set up for camel pose, knees are underneath the hips. Begin by placing your hands on your lower back. Fingers might point up or down. Begin by lifting the sternum up towards the ceiling, almost as if you're separating, creating space between the top of the hips and the lowest rib. And then very slowly, maybe you shift your gaze, beginning to read the ceiling, letting your hands come down to your heels. Keep the torso lifted, creating that space. Lengthen through the tailbone. even here in this backbone. One more breath in. Breath out. Very gently bringing the chin back to the chest. Come and rise all the way up. Bring your hands down to the earth. Lift your hips up. Downward facing dog. Here for 5 breaths. Once again, bring the knees down to the earth. Come to stand on the knees, setting up for your second camel pose. You decide where the hands are going to be. Don't hesitate. Be here. Arrive into your camel pose as it needs to be for 5 breaths. If it doesn't feel good to have the gaze shifting towards the back, keep the gaze up towards the ceiling or angled towards the front of the room. One more full breath in. Breath out. Chin towards your chest. Hands to the hips. Rise all the way up. Now hands to the earth. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, bring your knees down to the earth. Then shifting your feet around, come to lie down on the mat. Right away, soles of the feet connect to the earth, knees bend. No hesitation. Arrive. Be. Placing the hands alongside the body, heels coming towards the seat. Underneath the knees. On your next inhale, lift your hips. Bridge pose. From this bridge pose, go ahead, interlace your fingers. Let the knuckles reach towards the heels. Take a breath in. And exhale, lower the hips back down to the earth. Here to reset. This time taking the hands alongside the ears as you breathe in and breathe out. And on your next inhale, wheel pose. If you've never done wheel before, maybe you just lift your hips and bring the top of your head to the earth, but not dumping into the neck. Lifting up, pushing down through the palms, lifting the hips, lifting the chest. Push down through the feet to find that lifting up. One more breath in. Hug the chin into the chest. Lower all the way down. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Go ahead, let the soles of the feet come together. Open up the hips. 5 breaths. Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of the feet back to the earth. Hug the knees into the chest. And then very gently begin to rock forward and backwards, and come to easy boat pose. So easy boat pose, let the fingers come to the back of the thighs, heels activated, reaching forward, chest opens. 5 breaths. You can do anything for 5 breaths. Take one more breath in. And exhale, let it go. Now go ahead, come to a seat. Coming to a nice tall seat, letting the heels extend to the front of the room. Staff pose. From staff pose, I want you to take your legs nice and wide, as wide as what's comfortable for you. Finding a nice tall spine, begin to hinge forward. And as you hinge forward, let your hips hinge forward. coming to a wide-legged seated forward fold. Even here, activating your thighs, activating your feet, keeping your chest nice and open. Fluid, deep breath. One more full breath in and full breath out. Taking your time, rise all the way up. As you rise all the way up, bring the heels back together. Hug the knees into the chest and slowly roll back onto your back. From here, coming to dead bug pose. Dead bug pose, the knees, the legs are at 90 degrees, the feet flexed up towards the ceiling, knees coming alongside the rib cage, but without any rocking. Just letting the hips be heavy to the earth, thighs coming heavy to the earth. Now hugging the knees back into the chest. Go ahead and straighten your right leg. As you straighten your right leg, taking the right hand and clasping the left shin, bring the left knee across the body and let the left hand reach over to the left side. Gaze shifts over to the left, supine twist. Closing your eyes, beginning to surrender to deep rest. Shifting your gaze back up to the ceiling. Hugging the right knee into the chest, left knee into the chest. And then as you're ready, straightening the opposite leg. This time, right knee is into the chest, left hand on the right shin. Guiding the right knee across the body, right hand reaches over towards the right side, gaze to the right. Soften your shoulders. Soften the effort. Now hug the knee back into the chest. Very gently bring both feet down to the floor. Extend the heels to the front corners of the mat. Let your arms come alongside your body, palms face up. This final pose. Let yourself feel your vitality. Soften the effort and the breath.